trying to get as much painting caught up as I can these last few days because it's been raining like crazy where I live. So, but once the sun comes out, which may be Monday, I'll be turning my attentions quite a bit to my garden. I'm a big flower gardener and growing some vegetables and stuff. So, okay, let's get going. So we'll start off with some liquid white. Put a nice even coat of liquid white on this. I'll be glad when the art stores open though, just so I can. Got a few things I'd like to. I never like to run out of anything, so I try to keep a stock around of a couple different things. I got a couple of things. Liquid white's not one of them, but I got a couple of things I'd like to stock up on. Mostly just colors. Now I think if we do another video tomorrow, I have been asked to do a video about color mixing. So we might just do that. We might just, take some time and pull up an empty canvas and break out some colors and mix them up and see what all. When you mix with this with this, what does this give you? So, you guys can, let's make that pretty interactive. You guys just come on in and we'll, you tell me what you'd like to, see mixed up. It'll save you some paint. It just so happens I have plenty of paint. We have about 5 Hobby Lobby stores around here. And when they stopped carrying Bob Ross stuff, they put all that stuff on clearance for like $1 or $2. So I drove around to all the Hobby Lobby and bought up all their stuff, every last bit. So I have quite a bit of paint. And, I need to use it, because if I don't use it, it's going to dry up eventually. Well, I don't know. I got some Grumbacher paint that's probably 25 years old, and it's still pretty good. I haven't been painting that long, but I bought it at an antique mall, believe it or not. All right. That's a nice coat of liquid white on there. Man, it feels... I've been painting with liquid clear for the last several weeks, so this really feels clunky to me. All right, let's clean this brush. We'll do that with odorless paint thinner. Hey, Amy. Hey, Emmy. There's my girl. Hey, darling. Did you get all the dog hair brushed off of you? Or did Bane make you come outside and play? He was so wet yesterday in that video. It was so funny. I was laughing so hard. Big dogs are so funny like that when you splash them with the hose. They're always trying to bite the water. Our Dobermans used to do that too. Actually, our Husky used to do that quite a bit. He loved to chase the hose. It's kind of like Axel chasing a red dot. You're never going to catch it. Sometimes you wish you could get him to catch it, just so you could. All right, so let me. Hey, Amy. You had to change. Okay. So I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm going to paint. I'll paint something here. You think since I told him half an hour ago that I was going to paint, going to go live, so I've been thinking about it for at least an hour. I would have come up with something, but I didn't. But I thought I'd paint a landscape here. Look at, I don't remember exactly what's on this thing. Oh yeah. Okay, this is like a. Yeah, we might could do something like that. I'll show you these 2 little sketches. We'll probably come up with some kind of a hybrid. I'm such a gigantically good sketcher. Not. Hey guys. I know there's more people than just Emily and Amy. I can see you in there. I can't see you unless you say hello, but So there's that one. And then there's this one. And mostly I think about maybe do some mountains off of that, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. But I think I'll do kind of a... All right, I'll throw those over here on the table. Think about them as I'm going. So let's start off with... let's just start off with a little bit of color mixing. So let's start off, let's see, with Cad Orange. I think we'll have like an orange kind of a sky. Hey, Dorothy. All right, so let's see. Let's get some Cad Orange. That's a color I need some of. I better start making a list. I just stuck all that stuff back up on the board, and the very first color, I have to go get it off the board. So I don't even know why I bother. All right, so let's start off with a 1-inch brush and some Cad Orange. Let's just light the sky right up. I'm thinking this gesso, this is an old piece of gesso work that I did here, and so I'm wondering if it's gonna cause me a little bit of problem when I'm drying up this liquid white. It's gonna suck up the oil. It's okay if it does, but just make it a little different to blend, a little different to blend. Now I'm going to be switching hands all day, so if you're trying to figure out if I'm left-handed or right-handed, yes, I am both. So that's the way it's going to be for a while. I'm going to put some mountains and stuff in here, maybe. I think that would be good. So I just took a little bit of this orange back up to the corner there. All right. Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Kelly. Kelly, I was just saying, if I paint tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a whole video just on color mixing. I know you asked about that, and I've been lax in getting it done, but maybe tomorrow I'll just fiddle with that. The last of my gambling, Cad Yellow. Come on, art stores. Open it. All right, let's pick up some of this yellow. I'm not going to clean the brush, we're just going to pick it up. I'm going to brush some of that in over here. I don't know how much of this is going to remain above the horizon, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So it looks like on this part, we'll light this side up the most maybe. I'm just being kind of loose with the brush here. So those of you who follow me other than my art, I went and visited with the cats today. They were glad to see me. They're always glad to see me. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's get a bit of titanium white out here. We'll just put that across that yellow. Hey, Jane. Yeah, Kelly, we'll kind of sling some different paint up here. Just put it on I've got a bunch of empty canvases. So we'll throw some paint up there and mix some stuff up. Might even try a couple things like, oh, what happens when you do this? And let you guys kind of drive that. Tell me where you want, what happens if you do this? It'll save you paint and give me something to do. Keep me out of trouble. Right. Don't ask Emily about keeping me out of trouble. It's like a full-time job for her to try to keep me out of trouble. All right, so here we go. All right, we're just adding some white in here. We're just going to kind of spread this around. Just a little bit more right in here. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm doing one of Marion Dutton's paintings. One of her lessons. I don't know if you guys have taken any of Marion Dutton's courses. I'm a MazArt painting partner, so Marion and I know each other pretty well. But man, some of the backgrounds that she cranks up, whew, exciting. All right, let's take a little bit of, let's just take a little bit of alizarin crimson before I clean the brush, because I'm getting ready to clean the brush. And we'll put some clouds and stuff up in the sky. Let's just kind of. Now, the reason to darken these corners is it'll turn the viewer's eye in toward the rest of the painting. All right, now let's clean the brush. We'll put this 1-inch brush away for the moment. And let's see what we want to do now. Take a round brush, I think. I'm just going to kind of blend this a little bit. Not quite blend this suit just yet. That looks pretty good. Look at these brush marks. Now, if you got a mop, you can just brush it with a mop. I don't use mops. And the only reason I don't is I'm really bad about getting them clean. And it doesn't take long to mess up a mop if you don't really get it clean. I'm a little too gruff with those. All right, let's switch to a fan brush. And let's pick out a color. Let's pick out some, well, I'll tell you what, first let's just start off with some white. We're going to start with the fan brush, but we'll probably switch over to a filbert momentarily. So let's just kind of throw some clouds in here. I know clouds are kind of scary for some people, but it's really hard to get them wrong. So, I wouldn't worry about those too much. Let's just put like some of these upper atmosphere clouds. There we go. Did I buy a kitty? No, I have a kitty. His name is Axel. He's a 16-pound British Shorthair that I adopted from a rescue 6 months ago. And Emily calls him a chunk. He's a big boy. And he's really spoiled a lot. But in addition to Axel, I take care of anywhere between 19 and 22 cats at the rescue. My job, I'm the cat whisperer. They bring me cats from the rescue site, and my job is to make sure that those cats, when they come in, they're always scared. And I don't like for cats to be scared. So my job is to love on them, pet them, and just, love them up. That's my job. I love them up. So, if you look at my normal page at all, you'll see videos of different ones. And I guess since I've been working there, I've had about close to 40 of my cats adopted. So, yeah, they call me the cat whisperer because they can bring me cats that are really, 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 really scared. And I can usually warm them up pretty good. Take me a couple days, but I can do it. Let's put a sun in here, right there. It's going to be kind of low on the horizon, I think. Okay. And then I think like right around that, just kind of let's add a little bit more titanium. All right. All right. Let's start thinking about some. Just to put the background. I think we'll start off with I said today I wasn't going to use a filbert all the time, but I think I am anyway. All right, so let's get some burnt sienna and some orange. I still got orange. I've got some cat orange over here. We'll kind of keep this to an orange and brown kind of yellow kind of a thing. And we'll come back and smooth a little bit of this out in a minute. But first I want to just kind of lay out where I want this to go. So let's start off with, let's go back to my sketches for a minute. Let me kind of look at those. Yeah, all right. Let's kind of do a little bit of sketching here. Boy, this corner, this gesso must be really, really dry. Just kind of shaping these mountains a little bit. These are way, way back there though, so you don't need too much that way. And I'm kind of thinking like, let's put a little bit of extra paint right here. And let's use that to create maybe a really distant lake back here, like. We're going to add a little bit of medium to this. Maybe even throw up a few distant trees back there, but let's get kind of throw some of this in here like that. Give us something to play against. All right. switch to a clean brush. Alright, there we go. I'm going to stop and clean brushes in a second because I got like too many of them. They're filthy. Small enough. Let's put a little bit of water lines back here. All right. Now let's stick a couple trees back there just to kind of what I want to be though. Let's get let's just use what is this? Maybe something a little darker. Maybe something a little more, maybe something lighter than that instead of darker. That'll work. That'll work. All right. Good enough. I don't recommend it. You start painting stuff, not knowing where you're not having a good idea where you're going, but I do it quite a bit often, so it's okay. It's okay. All right, just clean a couple brushes now, real quick. And we'll lay this front landscape in a little bit. Hey, Joe. Yeah, I gotta take care of my kitties. I was going to see them 3 times a week, but so many people have been staying home because of the virus. The organization that does the rescues that I work for, they don't have enough volunteers, so I go every day. Some day I clean their cages, and some days I just, like today, I just went over just to spend time with them and pet them. And I did give Gilbert a haircut, but it was kind of funny. The lady was there, and she's like, "How do you remember all their names?" I was like, "Oh, I just do. I can remember the name of cats. I can't remember the name of people. Just the way it is." All right, so let's see. Let's kind of do something. So I'm thinking like right about there. Let's do some things. All right. So we're going to do things a little bit weird that you may not have seen done before, but we're going to do them anyway. Ain't going to be very long. You see me do all sorts of weird things. All right, so let's get this. So we're going to pick up a little bit of the sienna and a little bit of orange to create a dark orange. Because if you think about it, sienna and orange is actually the same color. So let's do this. Let's create a tree line. Right. Let's just start this one right here. Let's make this one crooked. What you say? In memory of Bob Ross, make a crooked tree. They need friends too, you know. All right, now we're going to highlight these trees. On this side. Now before we do that, let's give him a little bit of a trunk, a little bit of a pointy up there. Okay, I don't mind painting with two hands, but probably shouldn't paint them at the same time. Now, I think in order to make these look like I want them to be, let's make a third color here. Let's try this on the back side of these trees. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's think about what's going to go on the other side, for a little bit anyway. Let's do this. Let's make this lighter. Actually, though, I think maybe that's okay. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's kind of use a fan brush. We're just going to clip the edges of this. And we'll just turn all of this back here into water when we're done. Yeah. let's take this brush and some orange. Okay. I didn't think I'd actually be using that brush today, but yeah, it's not going to work for that. All right, so got a little waterfall in here. We will do some things with the knife. Screw that away shortly. That's not my knife. Just gotta bring that all the way over. So there's a knife wrong-handed. It's okay. Yeah, we'll get it all in there. All right. Okay, let's start working on it. Let's put some trees up back in silhouette form back here. And then let's have a couple there. And then let's put a couple fir trees in here. Why not put one right on the sun? Why not? Let's put a little one right here. Okay. Hey, Colin. Hey, Alan. How are you guys doing today? This one we're going to leave unhighlighted because it's going to be silhouetted, but we might make it a little bit darker on one side, I think. And let's use a little bit of this reverse orange, just a little. And then let's put a little bit of shadow here and there and here. Let's more paint though. Can't paint without paint. Okay. And pull that reflection down in the water a little bit. And we'll just kind of smooth it like that. I want a little bit more dark over in this part, so we're going to add some more brown, just a little bit. A little bit of umber in here. Kind of set that highlight off. We could actually add a little bit of that probably into a couple of these trees if we wanted to. Yeah, that gives it a little bit more poof. All right. All right, so we gotta pull this lake out now. So we got water back here. We don't know what goes on back yonder, but some more over this way, coming around this way, and you got this nice little pretty waterfall right here. So let's just kind of tell you what, set this waterfall up and off a little bit. Let's put a tree right here. So I've been doing trees with fan brush. I'm going to fix it to do it with this little angle brush, which I don't think I've ever done that before, but we will anyway. If it doesn't look good, we'll put a different kind. All right, here we go. Need more paint. There we go. All right, so there you go. You can do a tree with an angle brush. And you can highlight it too. Okay. Yeah, we're going to want to cover a bunch of ground here for the opening for this part. So let's get a 1-inch brush and let's apply some color. I think I'm going to need some more yellow. I said I was out of that yellow, right? So let's go to one of these other yellows. So this is Grumbucker Pretest yellow. I think this is called, lemon yellow. So it's a different yellow, but that's okay. It'll provide some contrast for this. So let's just kind of let's do this. Let's put in a different color. This is Winton's version of the same paint, but as you're about to see, the color is different. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Big different brands. Difference in hue. You know, it doesn't really matter as long as you know what you're getting. But all right, let's kind of hold there for just a second. A little spot on the gesso right there. There we go. That's better. All right. Let's add a little interest before we come on and do this. Come on this way. And let's just put this brush away. Let's get this is a script liner. I don't know if that's the right thing to use, but we're going to use it anyway. All right. Let's get let's put some more white. Let's put some more titanium white up here at the top. We'll use it for extra stuff here in a minute. So let's get tell you what, let's just do this. Let's try this. So let's get a little bit of liquid white and some of this alizarin crimson that we started with. And then white gray back in here. Cleaning the brush off, we're going to go back for some white. Let's put us a little sailboat back there, maybe a little bit of water. Line like that. And let's move up here a little bit closer. Maybe like all right. I need something a little darker up here in the front. So let's try this. Let's try this. It's adding a little bit of shadow to this boat before we put the mast up. Probably a round brush would have been better to use with this, but it's okay. And these sails we're putting in with liquid white. So it'll float over the top of this paint fairly easily. Okay, back to this little bit darker color. Just add a little couple wings. And maybe a little bit of shadow to the sail. And let's do something with this. I'm going to do a little bit more something with this boat. I didn't get too fancy with the boat, but just a little bit of waterline. Just a little bit of waterline. You like those in? I mean, it's kind of a bright day out there on the lake, but it's a little brighter than I originally thought it might be. But okay. now we're going to get going with some darker things. So let's go with so now this foreground, coming into the foreground, is going to be really dark, but it's also going to have some orange and stuff in it too. So let's do some mixing of paint, shall we? Let's go to a 1-inch brush and an oval, and we'll go to oval. And let's start off and let's just tap some bushes in. Tap some bushes. So now what's going to be interesting is this part here, right where the yellow-orange color is, there's a lot of paint on the canvas. Right below that, where this liquid white is, the liquid white is almost completely dried. So we're going to have to work around that, and we will. But let's just make this a little more uneven, maybe like that. All right, now to give this a little bit of distance in between, we will pick up some of this orange and kind of put like a little bit of fog in here. To push it away. Just to push that back. And then let's add some what if I'm always thinking when I'm painting. All right, so let's just let's put some of this out this way. Now, we've got this orange in here. As we keep coming closer, we're going to get darker and darker. But this color probably looks blue to you guys, but it's not. It's actually mountain mixture from Bob Ross's, from the Big Bob Ross. Okay, let's clean that brush. Then we're going to start thinking about, we're going to put that brush away, get a 1-inch brush out. That was a little too stiff. I was going to say, where are my brushes? I kept dropping them on the floor. That's where they are. All right, so let's pick up a little bit brighter fog. Let's try some of this. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, now add some more distance in between these. I need some a little bit of brown, a little bit of this blue, a little bit of green. Great big oak tree. This is like your bravery test. Actually, for me, it's like all of it's a bravery test because I had no idea what I'm painting. So, it's like, oh, this is what I'd see. Reload the brush. Now, when you're creating trees like this, there's a lot of paint. I mean, there's this layer of paint, and 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 this layer of paint, all of which that tree has to go over to get it on there. So you can take, one of these paint erasers and just scrape that paint back off, and paint your tree right over it. It's actually easier to do it that way, as far as getting the paint applied. But for me to do something easy, that would be crazy. All right. So if you guys happen to be acrylic painters, these are oils. If you happen to be acrylic painters, I would recommend you dial into Little Painter Girl's channel, because she's the ace. She's the ace. She's really good. She's really good. You can also look up grayscale painting. Anthony does a great job. He does a lot of lessons and stuff, and he's always glad to answer questions and stuff. All right. Now, I'm going to highlight these trees, but I don't want them quite as bright as those back there. So take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of sap green. Maybe a little more sap green. Maybe a little bit more sap green. All right, that looks pretty good. Now when you're highlighting your trees, try not to go like right down the middle with your highlight. Sometimes cross over to the other side, because that'll give your tree a little bit more depth. Okay, we're going to take that same color, but we're going to also take and put some the mountain mixture into it to create a little bit darker color. That's not dark enough. Maybe this. Yeah, it's better. You don't need too much of that. All right. So let's do. Let's do a little, just a touch of highlighting with this yellow. I don't want a whole lot, I just want a little bit. And this will give this part in here some depth as well. All right. A little bit of a splotchy right there. There we go. And we'll change up some of the colors in this log just a tad. There we go. All right. We're just whipping along here. All right. Let's go. Let's take this color and bring it down here. We'll create a shoreline here. So let's do that. Let's create a shoreline. And then we'll put water down here, and then we'll pull that sunbeam right down into that water. So let's get. Some of this, you can take some of this, you want to make it uneven and kind of pull this back that way a little bit like that. Make like a little path there or whatever. And then we'll put a couple of bushes or little tiny things up there. All right. And then let's just kind of double this. And you'll see why in just a second. Let's pull this down a little bit more. That's pretty good. I still got some paint on there. Let's use it. Let's get that right there. There we go. It's all the paint she drinks. It's all the paint she gets on her hands. Man, every time we talk, I'm like, girl, you got paint on your hands? Yeah. Let's see if I got any room to talk. Oh, gosh. All right, so let's see. Let's do this first. Let's go ahead and transfer this color into this area. And it's okay if we want to pull some of that brown in a minute. We'll pull that down. Kind of scrub this up there. So if you're wondering why I'm doing it, like I'm just kind of scrubbing up into that color a little bit. Now we'll see if I can do it right-handed. All right, here we go. So I'm telling you, if I can do this right-handed, you guys can paint. Everybody can paint. Everybody can paint. A little bit more paint. Okay. I'm going to clean this brush before we put the rest of this color on, though. Filling a secondary goal, helping build up my shopping list for going to the art store. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and add the rest of this color in now. So the liquid white is pretty much dried down here. And it can only be the gesso, because I've used that same can of liquid white. So this has got some of that experimental gray gesso on it that I made back a couple of months ago. And then it's got a coat of white over it. And all I can figure is that gray. It had a lot of plaster in it. So it made the canvases very stiff to work on, which was awesome. But it also dried my liquid clear for sure. It dried my liquid clear up really fast. And so I think it's done the same thing with this, but it's okay. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Just got to work it a little bit harder. So get my PT in on my arm today. This is that extra color I put in. I'm just pulling it down. Clean this brush. Wiping it clean. And I could just pick up another brush, but I'm not going to. I'll just pull this out and make the reflections out of these. Then we'll come back and put the water lines in. Now, one thing to remember, if you want the shorelines to recede, just like it does right there, just reach up in there a little bit farther with your brush. Get this horizontal. There we go. And it'll all work out. Okay. Now, before we get too far, let's do some other things with this, just to make it interesting. Just to make it interesting. Let's pick up some color. This tree is kind of like, so, you know, its color is going to go like, this one's going to be kind of like, it's not going to all show, but it'll have. And this one's going to be even more so. This would be some shadow right there, and then just into this. Like that. Could throw a little highlight on it if you want to, but yeah. I don't think I need to do that. Let's just. All right. I want to get some of the sun's reflection. Girl, what am I going to do? Oh, gosh. Don't listen to Emily. She's an awesome artist. Go look at her page. Her artwork speaks for itself. And it's a good thing that it does, because she would never take credit for anything. All right. Let's keep these water lines horizontal. Now we're going to just brush it back a little bit, just to soften them. I better hurry up and get done with this painting, because I keep throwing my brushes on the floor. All right. Okay, now I want to get the sun, that sun, down here. So I'm going to finger paint that. It's a pretty darn good bit of paint right there on that, just like that. Okay, now since I got two brushes and a knife in my hand, let's clean some of that up before we'll clean my finger off. All right, you get back over there. All right, so now we're going to take this, work this reflection, pull this out to the edge. I'm going to start off by just putting the brush flat down and pulling it straight down. A couple of times probably. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to pull it this way, and then this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Oh yeah, I said we were going to put some, I started to say I was done, but I forgot I was supposed to put some bushes right along that shoreline, so let's do that real quick. Then I'll let you guys go. All right, so here we go. Some green, some blue, well, mountain mixture, just kind of like blue, but what would a painting be if I hadn't tapped some bushes in using a filbert brush? I mean, really. I love this filbert brush. I got a bunch of them. I like them all. And of course, you can use these bushes and rearrange them wherever you want them to be. All right. Let's just clean that. We'll just keep using that brush. So let's just wipe it off. Scoop up some paint here and there off the palette. Now, when we get over this way, we don't need to add any more paint because this is not right in the sunlight, so we don't really care about that too much. Add a little bit here and there, but yeah, mostly not. All right, then right there in this one spot, we'll come back and we'll add just a little bit of white to each of these parts. Maybe a little along the edge of this tree. All right, and I think with that, we'll call this one done. Thank you guys for tuning in and spending time with me as I'm wandering around my canvas, deciding what I'm going to paint. Tomorrow, if we get a chance to paint, for sure, we will be doing, not painting probably, we might do a painting, but we'll probably not. We'll do a paint mixing session. So like for, an hour or so, we'll just take a bunch of colors and put them on the palette. We'll put them up here, we'll mix them up, we'll look at them, we'll explore them, talk about them together. And then, it'll just be like an art topic kind of a thing. I hope you guys will check out my YouTube channel, Ben Stivers Fine Art. I could use all the subscribers I could get. And there's about 75 videos up there now, I think, something like that. So you guys have a rest of the good evening, and I will see you next time. I'll talk to you in a few minutes, Em.